Okay, Assalamualaikum and selamat sejahtera. So now let's proceed to the subtopic 2.3, which are cells are grouped into tissue. Okay, so first of all, for cells are grouped into tissue, you have to classify it into two types of tissue. The first one we call as animal tissue, the other one plant tissue. Okay, so we look at the animal tissue first. For animal tissue, there are 4 different types of animal tissue. The first one we call as epithelial tissue. Okay, which are, you have to focus, okay, on the types of the epithelial tissue, which are the first one we call as simple squamous epithelial tissue. Next, simple cuboidal epithelial tissue, simple columnar, the other one stratified squamous. Okay, and then the next tissue, nerve tissue. Okay, for nerve tissue, you have to differentiate in between the sensory neuron, interneuron, and also motor neuron. Alright, and then for muscle tissue, there are 3 types of tissue that we considered under the muscle tissue, which are smooth muscle, striated or skeletal muscle, another one cardiac muscle. Okay, and then the last types of tissue we call as connective tissue. So for connective tissue, it has cartilage, okay, in specific the hyaline cartilage, blood, and also bone. Okay, for plant tissue, okay, we look at here. For plant tissue, firstly, you have to differentiate. For plant tissue, it has the first one we call as meristem tissue. The other one are permanent tissue. Okay, so both of these plant tissue, you have to know how differentiate. Okay, so for meristem tissue, there are 2 types of meristem tissue. The first one we call as apical meristem. The other one are lateral meristem. And then for permanent tissue, so firstly, we look at here. We classify it first. Either the permanent tissue is ground tissue or vascular tissue. But for ground tissue, it has 3 types of tissue. The first one, parenchyma. Second, collenchyma. The other one, sclerenchyma. While for vascular tissue, it has 2 types of vascular tissue, which are xylem and also phloem. Okay, so the details about all of this tissue, I will explain in the next video. Okay.